The Vent Haven International Ventriloquist Convention has drawn to a close for 2013, but we have your VHC wrap-up today on
Ventriloquism Weekly.
Welcome on this Monday, July 22nd, 2013. I hope those of you who were able to go enjoyed Vent Haven. I myself just got home late last night, so this episode of Ventriloquism Weekly is fresh off of Vent Haven. If you'll allow, however, I'd like to begin this week a little differently and not jump into the interview real quick because I want to start on a bit of a personal note. Because I just wanted to thank everyone I met at the convention, and especially those who gave me such wonderful, positive feedback on this program. It totally took me by surprise. It was, of course, unsolicited, and it just warmed my heart to realize that people are listening and see firsthand and in person what people are getting from a little project and enthusiastic vent started from his room. And I want to thank you, and it really means a lot to me to know that you guys listen and you guys enjoy this. So, and those of you I actually cornered and said, "Hey, I know you listen. Let's talk about it." I did that because I just wanted to make this better, and the advice I got will just help me make it so much better and really take this to new heights. And I also did a bit of networking, that was the most embarrassing part because I have people I know I want to interview and I talk to them, and it's kind of weird for me because some people have said they're going to do some interviews, and I can't believe I'm going to get to talk to them outside a convention. And we got some really unbelievable interviews coming up, and I say unbelievable because I still can't believe it myself. And again, I just want to make sure you all know I don't do this for me. I do it so we all have a recorded resource for discussion of our art, and that's why I do it. I just love each and every one of you. You mean a lot to me. So, that said, we have one of those unbelievable interviews. I've been excited about this. I knew he was the person I'd want to talk to for this specific reason. I knew we'd have him on for this reason since I started this. And his name is Dirk Golden. And he has a YouTube channel where he posts anything and everything related to his life in ventriloquism. From a tour of the Axtel Expression Studios to a play-by-play at Vent Haven, including some videos that he posted while we were there. They're there on his YouTube page for everyone to see, and I love watching those videos. Please welcome Dirk Golden to the program. Hi, Dirk. How are you?
I'm doing well, Matt Bailey. Thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure and a privilege.
Oh, thank you. It's a privilege and an honor to have you here. So, what we're doing this week is we're going to just wrap up some of the conventions, talk about some of the highlights. And what's the first thing that pops into your mind when you think back on the 2013 Vent Haven convention?
Wow, what's the first thing I think of? The first thing that comes to my mind, Matt, is this was my fifth convention in a row. I started attending in 2009.
Yes.
So let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's the fifth one. You kind of lose track after the third one, I guess. But,
yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. This was the most enjoyable convention for me because I made a promise to myself that I was going to meet more people and make new friends.
That's a great promise to make when you're talking about, the ventriloquist community, which I have to say, I just noticed with the Marriott, there's a lot more opportunity for socializing and not being smushed together at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah. It was, and the location, it seemed that our new location, the Airport Marriott there at the Cincinnati Airport, seemed like they were more well prepared for us this time than they were our first time last year. So that, everybody was very accommodating. It seemed like the food situation was better. So my kudos go out to Mark Wade and the organizers of the event. I think this is where we belong. I think we're going to, obviously this is our new home, and I think it's a wonderful, wonderful place, convenient and location-wise for our conventions in the future.
Yes, and the dealers' rooms are they seem to be a little bit bigger, so they seem to accommodate more people. And I know you did a few videos in the dealers' rooms. Well, what's your favorite thing about the dealers' rooms at convention?
The dealers, To me, I can't get enough of the dealer rooms. That's one of my most popular videos that I post on YouTube are the dealers rooms. Those get the most hits, and I had quite a bit of feedback over the last couple of years to say, hey, Dirk, the dealers rooms are great, but we need you to spend a little bit more time giving us a better look in the dealer rooms. So, well, I tell you, I really enjoyed seeing Tim Cole's figures there. We hadn't seen Tim Cole's figures there before. Of course, Jet was there. Marianne Taylor was there with her stuff. And Pete Michaels had his table selling the videos. Tom Ladshaw's table, always good to see Lee Cornell. I mean, everybody that participates. Steve Axtell's booth, of course. What a popular booth that Steve Axtell booth is. And I tell you, every time I went into those dealers' rooms, with the exception, I snuck in there just a little bit early to take those videos. Well, I tell you, weren't those things just jammed all the time? People going through those two dealer rooms.
Yeah, they were. And then when you see a puppet you like and you want to get, you're like, I better act on this now because I could leave for 5 minutes, grab a hot dog, come back, it won't be there.
Yeah, there's those people that they're looking to see what they want. Maybe sometimes the price is a little high. Sometimes things go on clearance sale toward the very end, but sometimes those things aren't. They've already been snatched up. So. But isn't that a pleasure Matt, it's amazing to me. When I first got into ventriloquism, back in elementary school and early high school, I tell you, the resources, there might have been, one or two figure makers, Craig Lovett being the main guy that I remember when I was back in my late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
I just can't believe the technology and the resources that puppeteers and ventriloquists and magicians have now for vent figures, puppets, and materials. It's amazing.
Yes, it is. I'm just going to adjust the mic to see if we can pick up a little better angle. So I apologize to the listeners if it screeches here, but there
Sure.
we are. Tilt it more towards the speaker. Okay. One of the highlights for me, because I know he's only been there a few times, was the Terry Fader lecture.
I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry. I had another call coming in because this is you're recording this live. Could you repeat that? I had to turn off my other phone.
Okay. I just said one of the highlights for me and one of the things that made this year very unique was Terry Fader's lecture, Terry Fader's Senior Vent University Writing Workshop. That was certainly very interesting.
Yeah, that's an experience that I wish I know that there was some of my friends couldn't be there. Some people that have been there in the past. And there were a lot of people couldn't make it this year. As a matter of fact, just because of my busy schedule, I may not be attending in 2014, but planning on back in 2015. I hate to miss one, but life is kind of messy sometimes. But there were a lot of people internationally. Mario from Switzerland and Carl Sandham from England. Casey Hall. There's so many more. DeRay, Pringle. We miss those guys, and of course Dan Willinger and Steve Hurst. Our sympathies go out to Dan for the loss that he experienced here just several weeks ago.
Absolutely.
But I try to give all of our ventriloquist colleagues a good feel for what's going on if they're not able to be there, and hopefully we got that accomplished by the things that were posted by everybody on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, I get home. I didn't have a lot of internet access during the convention just because try to save up the data, or you don't want to spend half your life on the internet while you're So I'm just checking it periodically, and I know you were uploading periodically, and I'd check and I'd see the posts, and I'd be like, I was there. So but I know that the posts are just great for all the people who miss it, and really try to relay the convention to those who couldn't be there. And that's the thing about us as a group, is we're not exclusive about anything. We're not like, well, sorry you missed Jeff's lecture. I'm not going to tell you what it was about. We try to really, really help each other out, even if we couldn't make it. And I love that about it.
You know what? It's a family, Matt. You know that it is. Matt, was there a time or two over the last couple of years where you didn't make it yourself?
Yeah, I had some other things come up, just like you said. Life is messy, and it was the past 2 years, and these things would crop up right around the time we were about to send in registration, and then these things would come knocking on the door, and kind of had to do them. So, um, yeah, but
It
I'm
was
glad to be
great to see
back.
you there again, Matt, because you were transformed from a boy to a young man, and it was awesome to see you up on that stage again during the open mic
Well,
session,
thank you.
and watching you perform was real good.
Well,
We
th-
enjoyed that thoroughly.
well, thank you. I'm glad. I'm sorry. I was working with Kevin Detweiler, who was there for the Detweiler tribute. I have a Detweiler figure I mentioned a few weeks ago. For any of you who remember, but I was having some wig issues, and the only time he really could work with me was on that late night um, open mic session. But I passed by and I saw you were performing, and I'm holding this head in my hand, going over to Kevin, going, "Darn it! He's almost done. I'm so mad I missed it because you're so funny. You really
You
are."
didn't miss. Oh, I like to get up there and just if I know I'm making myself laugh, usually others are laughing with me. So I appreciate that compliment. Thank you very much.
Yes. Now we were talking a minute ago before we got on. One of the things that makes this one unique was the Terry Fader lecture combined with the show, and the show
Yes.
was just phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this outstanding show performance. Terry Fader's so much more than a ventriloquist. These are the things that you want to go so you don't miss, because I tell you, being able to experience the Terry Fader lecture and performance, as well as having Jeff Dunham speak there as well, and having Taylor Mason come out on the last evening of the convention. Well, I tell you, man, it was just all enjoyable, and it doesn't just go by so fast. It's like it's something that you experience like this with all your colleagues. It's just, you don't want it to end. You know that it's a fantasy because it's got to end sometime, but those are probably four of the quickest days in your life that really go by.
They are, and we always bring my grandparents, and they're like, "Well, this is where we go to get away, to the convention where people walk around talking to themselves." It is a family event. The ventriloquist in your family goes to the the lectures and the classes, but everyone else gets to enjoy just four straight days of great entertainment. I mean, where else do you find that?
And you know what, Matt? Too, one of my favorite things is going to the hospitality room. Once all the activities are done, and I think that's really where the rubber meets the road. You actually get to meet some of these famous people. Jay Johnson and Dan Horn. I mean, these guys are real. These aren't artificial people. They're down to earth,
Oh, they
and they're
definitely
glad
are.
to share information with you. They're very approachable. Everybody that shows up there is just so kind-hearted and willing to share information, and I think that's what makes it terrific.
Yeah, I mean, I missed it for the 2 years and I'm sure those that couldn't make it, they miss it too, and they looked at things like this and like your videos to really get a feel for what it was like. I know I did for the years I couldn't make it, and it's what you miss most of all, more than the classes, is that camaraderie of you know at the end of a long day of classes and shows, just sitting and talking shop.
Yes, very enjoyable. There was a lot of media. Did you notice all the media that was out there this time as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's really gaining traction. I think part of that's the new location.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I couldn't ask for a better location. Boy, I tell you, you remember those days at the Drawbridge Inn? Great place, just a little bit run down, a little hot, a little bit. I think I was changing my shirt the first couple of conventions I attended, changing my shirt about every 20 minutes there, just especially during the photo section.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I don't know that it was like hot or this. I just know it was closer together. It was everything was a little. There wasn't much room. Like for the first couple of years we went, my grandmother's room would be right next to the hospitality suite.
Hmm.
And now they booked an entire hallway of rooms at the Marriott.
Yes, the hospitality hall instead of the hospitality room.
Yes.
But Matt, I don't think we would have. I don't think that the drawbridge inn would have accommodated the convention and all of us conventioneers this year. How many? What was the final count? Well over 600.
623, right? I think Mark Wade posted on Facebook this morning. 623.
Wow, phenomenal!
That's
great event, big group of people. Ventriloquism's alive and thriving now, thanks to just to the regain in popularity.
Yes, and it certainly is. And another thing is, that vast lobby at the Marriott, really helps with the room for the people. And I think part of the reason we had such high attendance is because we're at a larger venue. I heard
yes.
that the next step up from this, would be a convention center if they ever did that.
Ooh.
But there's still.
You're absolutely right. The accommodations, you come out of the auditorium right into a big lobby area, and there's tables there, and there's, I did notice that they have a Starbucks in the lobby now, other than the one restaurant that's at the hotel. Plus, they had some catering trucks outside. Yeah, it was a good venue. Absolutely good venue.
It was.
I'll tell you, Matt, as I told you in the beginning, this is probably the best convention that I've attended. This has been my fifth one, and the memories will stay with me for a lifetime.
Certainly, and it was my first one at the Marriott, and it was just incredible. It was a little weird, hopping from the drawbridge and not running around with it, not having other people running around like a chicken with their head cut off, as I'm sure it was last year. Like, where do we go? Where's the dealer's rooms? Because I know that's how I felt, so I can only imagine what it was like last year, with everyone trying to get used to the new venue. But I don't want to put words in Mark Wade or anybody's mouth that we're moving to a convention center anytime soon. I'm just saying that's how much it's increasing, and maybe as the wear will drop off, the interest in the new venue, the novelty of the new venue wears off. Maybe those numbers will come down a bit, although I certainly hope they don't, because it's just great to see young people, new people, passionate about ventriloquism.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, my friend.
Yes. So, well, I thank you very much, Dirk Golden, for your time here today. And I wish you the best of luck in all that you do. And I just want to tell everyone while you're here on the phone that you can find Dirk's videos and you can take a look at them at Dirk's Vent Videos page. And that on YouTube is, the YouTube channel is Dirk the Vent, all one word, DIRKTHEVENT. Is that correct?
That is correct, man. Hey, thanks for the plug. That's probably the best plug that I've had ever since I've had that channel, and I appreciate it. Hey, I want you to know something, Matt. I appreciate you. There's a lot of people that you could have interviewed right after there's a lot of other events you could have interviewed right after our event. You decided to choose me, and I'm just a guy out here with a regular full-time job that enjoys venting, and when I get an opportunity to do a paid gig, I'll do it. But it's just the joy that you can bring to other people with puppet in one hand and not moving your lips. You gotta experience it, and I know everybody out there that's listening knows what I'm talking about. But I appreciate you, my brother, and I appreciate the opportunity to share with everyone. I just want to say it was great to see everybody and everyone that was there. You know who you are, and I certainly hope. Like I said, I'm most likely taking a little hiatus of 2014, but I should be returning in 2015. And Matt, as you said earlier, you know how life is. Sometimes it just doesn't go the way we want it, but that's an unforgettable experience, and I truly wish everybody the best in it. They get to experience the Vent Haven Ventriloquist Convention.
And let me say, there wasn't, I'm excited to be interviewing more people as the weeks go by. But as far as who I wanted to do the wrap up with, I knew with how you're the only person I know that does a video audio play by play of convention. So I thought we got to get him in for the wrap up. And I can say, I'm sure I'll speak for everybody who'll be there next year, that we're gonna miss you. We'll look forward to 2015 and seeing you again. Dirk Golden, everybody, thank you so much for being here.
It's been my pleasure, Matt. Thank you. Take care.
You too. And that's it for us this week. Just a reminder that this is your podcast, and we love to hear what you have to say. So you can send in your comments on anything and everything related to ventriloquism to ventriloquismweekly@gmail.com. That's ventriloquismweekly@gmail.com. Since the recording of our first episode, we are available for download on iTunes, or you can subscribe to us at our hosting site, ventriloquismweekly.podomatic.com. That's ventriloquismweekly.podomatic.com. Signing off for Ventriloquism Weekly, I'm Matt Bailey, reminding all you vents out there to keep talking for two.